I'm live from New Jersey. We're streaming. Playing some PLO 1-2. It seems like a lot of people wanted me to play PLO yesterday. So that is what I'm doing. Yeah. I don't like that song. I don't even know what that song is. Weird. Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, thanks everyone for coming back and sticking with me. I did some internet wizardry. Actually, it was really funny. I wound up fixing the issue on my own, but I had a pretty funny thing happen to me today, which is I went out and purchased the Ethernet adapter USB cable, and I plugged in my Ethernet cable, and it still wasn't working. So I'm at the hotel, and I call the hotel help desk, and they connect me to the tech guy. And I'm on hold for a while, you know, as things go when you're on hold. And I'm sitting there, and eventually this guy picks up. And of course, everybody knows, you know, I was trying on the Wi-Fi yesterday, but the Wi-Fi's not fast enough, and that's the only reason you really use the Ethernet. So anyway, the tech guy picks up, and I explain the problem, and he says to me, well, if you're having trouble with the Ethernet, why don't you try using the Wi-Fi? And of course, this is like completely obvious, so I just like very sarcastically said like, oh, thanks a lot, that's really, really helpful, thank you. And before I could get another word in, he just says, oh yeah, no problem, and hangs up the phone. And so I learned an important lesson, which is don't use sarcasm after you've been on hold for a very long time. I was like, not even tilted, it was just so funny. I was like, yeah, well, either that guy did that on purpose, and in which case kudos and props to him, or else, you know, either way, it was just pretty hilarious. So anyway, I figured out the problem, and we got it set up here. We're in Hoboken, New Jersey, right across the river from beautiful New York City. I wish I could stream during the day. I don't want to compete with the man Jay Carver, but at the same time, it's a pretty nice view during the day, so whatever. You guys have seen New York City. If you haven't, you should go. It's a pretty sweet place. New Jersey, I'm warming up to it. It's not so bad. It's really close to New York, which it has that going for it. Okay, so here I am with Queen 10-8-9. And basically my strategy I was describing yesterday is basically just play as tight as possible from out of position. So I'll have some really strong hands in the small blind and big blind that I won't even raise if it's limped to me, just because I really think that position is everything in PLO. And so I just don't want to inflate the pot when I'm going to be out of position and have to make tough decisions. Here I think people are playing pretty honestly when they check. So with with second pair and a straight draw, I think that's a pretty fairly easy bet. We're going to get people off of all of their kind of middle pair, jacks, queens, kings, stuff like that. And some aces as well. If they don't have aces up, or they don't have aces with a good draw, we're going to get them off that too. Yeah, so I'm basically playing like a pretty tight strategy out of position. People would be surprised, but I just think putting pressure on people is the way to win the game in position. Making a lot of really good bluffs. Bluffing is great. People don't bluff nearly enough in PLO. And so that's the thing we're going to see. I don't know if I'm going to bluff yet. I don't know these players at all. And I don't know, you know, their tendencies and their willingness to fold. But I find in general in PLO, bluffing is really nice. And that's why I like PLO, because I lost my ability to bluff in no limit like, you know, 6 years ago or something. So I still try all the time, but I usually get called, so it's kind of sad. So at least in PLO I can come play, and I don't have to have the best hand to win. Alright, no lag. Sounds good. Let's close this ad. I'm going to try to address some questions in chat. I'm going to be talking on a 3-minute delay, so you guys can't try to cheat me out of all my money. So that's the thing that's happening. I see some stakes in chat. We're going to have... I appreciate you guys are like the hardcore fans. You know, you guys get bonus points from me. We're going to probably have an influx. Jason's going to host my stream when he's done at 10. And other than that, yeah, it's going to be, you know, like I said, PLO one table, a little bit slow. Can be a little bit slow. So, my god, I want to fold so bad. That's funny. I'm just going to limp. I don't ever do this. I'm just messing around. This is actually a hand that sometimes I would fold. It's like really weak queens and it's under the gun, and I just hate being out of position. I know that's going to strike people as really weird, but it is what it is. So yeah. Man, This 3 minute delay thing is really weird because I see people LOLing and okay, good. It's my IT guy story. Yeah, sick, right? All right, good. Limping worked. That's what I wanted. It's Queens is like a really valuable hand if you hit a set because you can set over set people. So that's why I actually don't mind playing. Like if they let me limp, then great because if I can play a $10 flop, then it's pretty cheap. But if I set over set someone, the implied odds are huge. So that's what's really nice about a hand like Queens. The thing is, this hand doesn't flop that well if you don't hit a set. There's not a ton of great flops. It's not very connected of a hand. You're not flopping a lot of nut draws. In PLO, you're looking for a lot of nut draws, and you're not really flopping. Like, your straight draws won't be nut straight draws. Your flush draws won't be nut flush draws. So we're really looking for a set here, primarily. And that's why I don't love playing out of position. There's some chance that we win here. Ice Blade. By the way, shout out to either Ice Blade or Ice 3 Late. I'm going to guess it's Ice Blade, but shout out. Thank you very much. He is volunteering his time. I don't even know your real name, but I'd like to. But I really appreciate you taking your time modding it. I'm going to do a little blocker bet here. I don't really want to call a big bet if someone has an ace. It's very possible someone has an ace, but it's not likely. See if someone gets curious. Buffering mainly. Looks like that's just you today, F. Mayrink. You gotta fix your internet. Go and buy an Ethernet cable and talk to the IT guy if he doesn't hang up on you. I didn't even catch his name, man. Oh, God. Oh, I'm gonna be stretching. I'm sorry, guys. And I did a boxing class today. Just, like, no idea what I'm doing or why. It was really hard. Cupcakes. I'm learning. I'm gonna like learn all about this this Twitch situation. Right now we're just gonna have some tunes. We're gonna chill out. Closing the action. Pretty much calling with any four. This might be worth a bet actually now that I think about it. Probably should have bet that. Alright, I'm gonna focus. It's a little late for me, but I have a 10 blocker here. I think this person's betting with either an overpair or just a 10 a lot. And I'm in the big blind, so I'm much more likely to have a 2. That said, he did bet, so it's not that people don't bet with air that often, so it might be a little too aggressive here, just because the fact that he bet at all, people check it around so often. But yeah, I mean, I'm in the big blind, and, you know, he's just going to have a random 10 or air sometimes an overpair, and it just puts him in a really bad spot, because my 10 blocker is really significant there, because if I had a hand like 10's full, I could very easily check raise just trying to stack a 2. So given that, it's just one of those spots where if he doesn't have a 2 himself, he's in a world of hurt. Vanessa, I asked you yesterday, and you missed my question. So again, what breeds are those different breeds of dogs? Those are my 2 dogs. One of them's name is Indy, and one of them's name is Poppy. They're both Chihuahuas. One's a long-haired Chihuahua, and one's a short-haired Chihuahua. They're not related. Well, they're different breeds, obviously, so they're not related. That's pretty logical. Poppy is not a girl, he's a boy. It's like Poppy, like P-A-P-I, like Poppy Chulo. Because he's sexy as a motherfucker. Indy is short for Indigo Girls. Indigo is her full name, Indigo Girls. Because, well, you'll see from my music preferences. I have an eclectic and wide range of music preferences. And some of them lean somewhat towards lesbianism. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm just gonna actually just check this one. Do you think you have better hair than J Carbs? Call him meat sack. Okay, I give up here. Just so you know, King 9898. The thing about checking this is if I don't This hand specifically, if I don't bet this, I'm not going to win if he bets. But I'm okay with that because I'm actually protected, because I'm going to check back there, like, with a lot of my hands that are planning on calling 1 and sometimes 2 bets. Like, Ace, King, Queen, Rainbow is a really good board to slow play / pot control. Like, if I have the nuts, I might slow play, but also if I have, like, a set, I would definitely check back there just to pot control in case I'm up against a straight, and also to disguise my hand. So, on that kind of board texture, high cards, monotone, I'm very comfortable checking back some of my air, because I'm checking so often when I have a really good hand. And so, you know, that's important. You want to be balancing. Like, you don't want... There's a lot of people, especially in PLO, that when they're always betting when they have a good hand. And so I know when they check, that means that they are... I'm just going to double barrel this board. I just know when they check that they're always giving up. And so, you know, that's really, really easy to play against. I'm double barreling this because, I mean, unfortunately, I think he's going to have a flush for sure. When he calls the flop, he's got a flush sometimes, but sometimes he's just got a hand like 2 pair or a set. I guess he would call a set on the turn. Maybe this isn't the best double barrel. I think sometimes he might have a hand like, just be floating out of position with like an 8 and a straight draw or something like that. I'm just going to give up because I think he has a middle flush a lot. So, it's not the best double barrel, but it's not the worst either. I mean, I think that a lot of people in these days are realizing that they can call on flush boards, and it's actually a really good play. If you're up against on a flush board and you call on the flop and then it goes check, check on the turn, like, it's pretty hard to make a flush. I don't know the exact odds because it's been a long time since I played PLO seriously, but it's pretty hard to make a flush. I've tried a lot. Doesn't happen that often. So, basically, if you only call a continuation bet when you have a flush, it's, like, super profitable to continuation bet against you. Therefore, what people have started, and people were continuation betting all the time, so what some people, good players, have started doing was floating out of position, calling with, you know, their top range of non-flush hands that aren't really that great, like top pair and a straight draw, or overpair, or something like that. Those are all hands that they can't call a second bet, they're just calling hoping that I shut down. And so, you know, I don't know these players. I like to, usually when I double barrel those boards, I like to play a little longer with them before I do that and identify who are the players that are making those sorts of plays, those out of position floats. But I don't have the luxury of having played with him that much. I want to do some interesting plays for you guys, so you're not sitting here watching me fold for 3 hours, because that wouldn't be very fun. So it, you know, gives us more interesting stuff to talk about. It didn't work out, unfortunately, but you'll notice in PLO there's a subset of players that really just play their hands, and then there are some that are like constantly making plays, and I find that, you know, obviously there's ways to play against both, but the ones that are constantly making plays, there's different types of those, of course, too. So it's cool to start to, like, understand the players more and categorize them. Here I'm going to re-raise this hand in position. I could just call. He potted it, which makes me kind of want to just call sometimes, because I think it's going to be isolated heads up anyway. Part of the beauty of repotting it is when I have aces or kings, I'm going to be repotting it so this disguises my hand. And this is a nice hand to repot because it makes it heads up so that, like, this person doesn't get in there. Like, these flush draws are both really low, so I kind of want to clean up my flush draws. And it does that. And here I'm betting. I'm just getting it in. I have a hand that's good enough. 2 backdoor flush draws, middle pair, and a straight draw. If he decides to go with his hand, I have a hand that's good enough to get it in. But he's going to have a lot of hands that missed here. And it puts him in a really bad spot. You know, queen, queen, jack, 10, stuff like that. It's not a terrible board to check back, but the problem is I have so much fold equity against those sorts of hands. And with the 2 backdoor flush draws, I'm not really... My equity is really good, even against his get-it-in range. Like, he's going to get in at that point with any good king, like king rundowns and stuff, but my equity is not bad. Let me just fold so I can run that. Let's see if I remember how to run an equity. It's been... You guys don't even know how long it's been since I played online poker. Alright, let's see. I'm going to bring up this program if I figure out how to run an equity. It's good to do, though, right? Omaha High, player 1. Alright, well, I'm not even going to do a range equity because that is really complicated. That one I would normally play, but I'm just trying to do this equity thing. Let me just do a specific hand to make this quicker. I'm not going to give him too good a rundown because I think he would have re-writ like 4-bet maybe sometimes. My hand was 7 of hearts, 2 of hearts, whatever. It was 7 of diamonds, but anyway. And the board is King of diamonds, 6 of hearts, 4 of spades. Alright, so let's see, we can see here. You can see here that we have, if we give him king, queen, 10, 8, or something like that, that's the king high rundown I was talking about, top pair. We actually have 54% equity with our hand against that hand, so that's even better than I thought it would be. We're crushing it. I really thought we'd be a slight dog. That's good to know. That was a huge flop. And that's also the kind of board, the other benefit to betting there is that it's the exact kind of board that I'm going to bet fold with a lot of my re-raising range. Like if I have like 8, 10, 9, jack. I have nothing, but I have fold equity, so I'm going to be betting that board. So with the stronger hands, I definitely have to bet. Okay. What city is that behind you in the window? The city behind me in the window is a little city south of Boston and north of Washington, D.C. Right in the middle of those two cities. The capital, it used to be the capital of the country. You might have heard of it. I don't remember what it's. New York City. Watching you fold for 3 hours will probably be the most informative 3 PLO hours in my life. Don't mind watching it. See, Quo. Thank you. That is really nice. Well, I don't even know what that is. That's just. Well, okay, good. I thought you said the most like informative 3 hours of your life. You at least said PLO hours, so that's good. Okay, I'm on this other list. I don't think I can. Let's see if we can multi-table here. Let's see what happens. I haven't tried to multi-table, but tell me if this gets too crowded. Okay, let's see if we can multi-table here. Oh, seat's no longer reserved for me. Well, never mind. Such a fail. Such a fail. D-Negs troll. Where's D-Negs? Is he here? He's here. He's in, Tennis is rough on my lower back. Oh, I just found a sweet, 34 stretch. Here, to the person who asked about tennis stretching. That's a good little thing there. Okay, I'm not on this table. I'm first in line, so let's just go back to... Let's go back to this guy here. Oh. I'm just gonna do, like, weird stuff. Like I said, check that back. We'll see what happens. Now this person's got a hand like... God only knows. God only knows, really. Maybe they're bluffing. No. So I think they've just got a hand like queens or something. Or jacks. I don't know. just hope they call. It wouldn't be a good call. Maybe they have just a spade draw or something. I have no idea. I don't really understand when people bet that spot, because it's just like, without, but I don't know. I'm not going to try to analyze random poker players from New Jersey. I don't know what they're doing. Alright, what was your thinking when you flopped a set of kings in position against Oli Shemian on board where you bet nearly 100% of the time? It was a beautiful way to play the hand because you doubled up that hand. I think it may have been at the PCA or some EPT. That is a... Oh, really? You get a warning about Odds Oracle? Alright, I don't know anything about that, but I'll close it, I guess. Let me answer that question because that is a really, really interesting question. So what happened was I was going into the PCA High Roller 25K final table, and I was like middle of the pack, I want to say. Oli Shimian had a lot of chips, and I had a lot of experience. This is in 2013, I believe. I had a lot of experience playing against everybody else, but I had never played against him. So what I did was, instead of going out and drinking the night before the final table, I decided to... hang on. Just good enough to get this in here against this stack. Instead of going out and drinking the night before the final table, I decided to see what I could find on Oli Shemian. And I knew that at the time he was a relative unknown, but he had played the Partouche Poker Tour final table, and he actually won that event a few months earlier. And that event is actually streamed, and I knew that because I had won that event. Humble brags. So I remember that the whole thing was streamed. So I went home. And, like, we're talking about the every hand kind of thing. Like, not just the highlights. So I went home or back to my hotel room, and I watched the, 6 or 8 hours of the Partouche final table stream. And, I fast-forwarded when he wasn't in a hand or whatever, but I was trying to get reads. And what I found was that twice, this is a really interesting thing, because twice someone checked back a really draw-heavy flop. So what happened was, in the situation, in the hand that Ka02 is talking about is that the board, I raised pocket kings, the board came king 10-4, I believe. I checked with 2 spades, I checked back my top set, the turn was a 10, I raised, Oli Shemian called, and then he check raised all in on the river, which is ace high, and I doubled up that hand. It was a really huge hand, and it made me almost, it's what led me, gave me the chips to win the event. And what happened was, so I had seen this Partouche thing, and I saw that twice someone had checked back a really wet board, essentially what people call capping their range. So capping your range is because most people, when they have a really strong hand and there's a lot of draws, they want to protect against the draws, and rightly so. They're worried about getting value for their hand before the board gets too ugly. But what I noticed was, when people didn't bet, when they capped their range, he put in so many chips on a bluff because he really felt like the person's hand wasn't going to be strong enough to call a check raise all in on the river. So both times at the Partouche event, he check raised all in on the river as a bluff, and both times it worked, which is also significant because I knew he was coming off, he'd been riding a wave of, there's a lot of confidence that you have in poker, and he was riding a wave of confidence. So he made this play that worked twice at a major final table right before this. So I said, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to check a really big hand on the flop, hoping that he decides to make a check raise bluff on the river. And, obviously everything worked out perfectly. I got a huge hand against him. I was able to, execute the plan. But I think that really is a testament to the value of studying your opponents when you're about to play a final table and taking an hour or two to research what you can about them. Obviously, it was easier for me because there was televised footage of him, but even, for you guys out there, asking your friends if you're playing in a local casino and it's a known player, asking your friends what they know or whatever it is. I mean, I think it's really good to be able to do some research and get some information that way, and that was invaluable to me during that event. What's up? Love your play, but that glare on your face, though. I have spent a lot of time playing with the various lighting potential. I was trying to get the lighting better so you could see the city. You can't really see it at all. You can see my computer, but like that. And then I was playing with it for some other reason. I don't even remember. So, I don't know. It is what it is. conversation. Hey, oh my god, I'm gonna start singing. This is some... Okay, so basically what I'm playing right now is every song that's on my computer. I'm playing... He doesn't have anything, so I'm making a small bet, hoping he check raises me here, but he doesn't have anything. He checked 3 times. He's never calling. So I'm playing every song on my computer on random, which is really good. You guys, I'm not like coordinating it like what's the word I'm looking for? Well, whatever. I should be making playlists and like making super cool playlists to make it look like I have really awesome music taste, but I was too lazy for that. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get. There's some weird podcasts on here and stuff too. If we hear a weird podcast, I might just skip it or I might just let it ride. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Some NPR. Decode DC, I think, political podcasts. Serial. Serial's a great podcast. Might let that run. See what happens in the case. Why is everyone playing... Alright, let's see what's going on. I'm so bored with poker. Let me see what's happening with all of these questions. I'm so pumped you're streaming now. You're one of my faves. Thank you very much. I wouldn't say I'm streaming. I'm streaming right now, trying to... because I'm excited about Poker Stars New Jersey. I have to tell you, I'm going to be streaming some more. I'm going to be streaming, watching old EPT episodes and commenting on it, but this online poker thing, I haven't really been playing a lot of online, and for me, New Jersey, for me, it's not a legitimate option to make money, because it's a little bit below my normal level. It's fun, but, whatever. So, anyway, so we'll see. But streaming is really fun. I'm really loving it. I'm digging it. I'm excited. I'm going to be hopping on with Jay Carver in Basking Ridge in a couple weeks. And, Daniel and I are going to be streaming maybe tomorrow. Or, I don't know. He's here now. I'm trying to get him to come by. We'll see. See if I can get him... I'm gonna check here. I have the Ace of Hearts. I mean, it's very possible that he has a hard draw, but it's also possible he has a lot of straight draws. I mean, he's just gonna call my turn bet with a lot of straight draws that miss here. So I think with the nut flush blocker, well, this is kind of gross. I mean, he has a lot of weak diamond draws. Ton of stuff got there, but I just have a really good hand, so I'm gonna call. I expect to lose this a lot. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good call. People don't bluff enough. In that spot, the problem with that call is that I think if he doesn't have a hand like straight draws and flush draws, then he's going to have a hand like... Even if he has that kind of hand, he's going to have some showdown value, like 2-pair or at least a king, and so he might just take the free showdown, so... In retrospect, I think I should just be check folding that river. I kind of knew it was a losing call as I made it. A lot of stuff missed, but just because there's so much stuff out there that he would be happy to take a showdown with, I think his bet's going to be for value probably. He's betting 26. I'm calling 26 to win 58. I need to be good something like, I don't know, 30% of the time, 28% of the time, and I don't know that I am there. Probably not the best call. Not the worst. Oh. People are saying nice things about... I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed that Twitter stream. I was telling my friend... the Twitch stream that I did with Jason at PCA. I was telling my friend... I was pretty drunk when we started that stream, and so I'm not drinking right now because I'm trying to get in super good shape to become an awesome tennis player, and so I was saying to my friend, maybe I should just get completely wasted and hop on Twitch, but I'm sober for now. You never know where the night could take you. And by you, I mean me. Even after your crazy success, are you rolled enough for these high rollers, super high rollers, or is a lot of your play and anyone else of these crazy buy-ins staked? The Nick Cook wants to know. What's up, the Nick Cook? The answer to your question is that no one is rolled for those crazy buy-ins. I mean, I could have like 5 million and I still don't think that I'd be rolled for 100. I mean, I guess I'd be rolled for 100Ks with 5 million if I really wanted to gamble that like super hard, but it wouldn't be a great roll. And with the 200Ks and the 250s and the 500s, no one's rolled for those things. So, yes, everybody sells action. Yes, I sell action. I keep more and more myself depending on how well I'm doing, but yeah, it's pretty common for pros to sell action to those events. Would I consider some 8-game? I would always consider some 8-game Winchester. I can definitely do that. Is Vanessa, Hillary, or Bernie? Well, that's a sad state of affairs. Presidential election, people want to know my thoughts on it. My thoughts are that my thoughts are many. This is an interesting bet spot. I think if I bet smaller, I think he might call again with like an ace with a flush draw. Even just an ace, actually. Ace 7-8, ace king, ace queen. I think he's going to find a call a lot there because he's now he's counterfeiting ace 5 and stuff like that. Alright, he's betting here. It looks like a blocking bet. Oh, I have a full house. I didn't even realize. Okay, I'm going to raise. I was thinking about raising with my queen 9, honestly. Just because, like, I don't like when people make blocking bets and people love to call me, but with my full house, I'm definitely going to raise now. If he has ace 9, he has ace 9, but that might have been a bad raise. Everyone just always has the nuts, huh? When they bet. That's really interesting. Alright. Oh, it's just a cooler. Might have been able to get away for cheaper, but if I raise to less. But I don't know. I just think he should be. He's going to have pocket 5s there. He's going to have aces that are making a blocking bet that decide to call sometimes. A random 9 with a flush draw. I don't know. It's close. It might be the rust. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a long time, guys. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts in chat.